Right then, this is a quick walk around video for an absolutely sensational Honda Accord. This is pretty much the holy grail for those that look for these kinds of cars. It's a 56 plate facelift 2006 car with just 18,000 miles on the clock. 2.4 EX manual. It is just unbelievable, this car. All the servicing, I think it's been serviced, I think it's 12-13 times now in that time. All the original servicing done by Honda. We've just serviced the car, but using a full Honda service kit. Spark plugs, air filter, cabin filter, oil change. So all done, because it's actually been stored up for the last few years. But crikey me, what a car. Still looks fantastic. And it is in beautiful condition, given the age mileage, because of course it's not perfect, but it's as good as you're realistically going to see. Alloys on the side, panel work, all absolutely lovely. Back, still such a handsome car. And the car kind of looks black, but it's in this beautiful kind of mocha colour, which is like a dark bronzy purpley colour, so it looks black and dull sunlight, but it's got this lovely hue to it at all other times, but unbelievably clean. We're washed off, by the way, it's not been polished, nothing like that. I'm hyped, but not at this stage. Yeah, coming down the side, and there's the odd tiny little kind of brush mark. I mean, it's crikey me, for a car that's nearly 20 years old, it is simply remarkable, and probably the best bit's yet to come. Coming to the boot area, again, good sized boot, it's been kept really nicely. Let's come into the back, you've got this gorgeous tan leather interior, which it looks like the seats have virtually never been sat on. Passenger side again, all wonderfully clean. I mean, it just looks almost factory fresh in the way the leather looks. Carpets, plastics. Come to the front on the driver's side. Again, the driver's door card, immaculate. The driver's seat itself, again, in stunning condition. Carpeted area, it's a full set of carpets. They've actually put a cut into the carpet there. I think they must have had some like security device or something. Otherwise I can't explain why. So we're inside the car now. Engine's running, so the dash is illuminated. Dashboard looks absolutely like new. It is sensational. Come to the main dash binnacle, hopefully you can see. 18,525 miles. Engine's running, as you can see, there are no warning lights on the car at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Accord 2.4 EX manual. The car's registered YG56CTX or CFX, I can't read in my own writing. 18,525 miles recorded. This is a video I have really been looking forward to doing. For those who don't want to watch any more of it, which I completely understand, because the point of this part is just to pick up any issues there are with the car. You know, because we know it can be really frustrating if you've driven any kind of distance to see a car, you know, only to get there and find out it's got an obvious fault. So I can shortcut all that by saying it doesn't. It drives exactly as you'd expect of a Honda Accord, and especially one with such a low mileage. For anyone else who wants to stay tuned, as they say, this is just going to be a video with me salivating over what I believe is one of the greatest cars ever made by Honda. And I include things like the NSX and the S2000 and the DC2s and the DC5s and the EP3s and all that kind of stuff, but for very different reasons. But I will do the usual things, like twist the key, engine starts instantly, of course, and settles to completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The K24 is legendary for lots of reasons. It's incredibly robust and reliable and long-lasting. But more than that, it's just one of the most beautiful engines to use. It's very hard to put my finger on exactly why, but there's loads of things that is wonderful about this engine. Notably, how tractable they are, how smooth, just how docile they are just driving around. It's a lovely unit. Then you notice little things the more you drive them, like you can't feel any vibration through the engine at all virtually. It's it feels, although it's a 4-cylinder, but it has that 6-cylinder feel to the way it produces its power and that utter refinement. It's also very quiet, but when you do put your foot down, crikey me, I'm not going to do it now because I'm in a zone I can't do it in, but boy, the thing just picks up, revs, keeps going if you want it to, but it's not your typical VTEC in the sense that it's got very little low down torque. You've got to work it hard, you've got to get into the VTEC zone to really extract the power. This is a really broad spread of torque and power. It's a brilliant piece of engineering, absolutely brilliant. One of the things I love about this car, because as I said in the walkaround section, this, for those that love this generation Accord, because I think it was the best one they ever made, to find a manual 2.4 in the UK like this, with this mileage and history, is this could be the last of them in that sense. And the engine's a big part of it because it is such a joyous engine to use. Engine feeds through the clutch and into the gearbox. The clutch on the car has that lovely kind of meaty, smooth actuation when you push the clutch pedal up and down. All of the controls, the brake pedal, the throttle pedal, have a beautifully damped action. It sounds daft, it sounds petty, but you get in a car which has got kind of a wobbly clutch pedal or brake pedal that just feels cheap underfoot, or a throttle pedal that goes down in increments rather than smoothly, and then why I kind of harp on about why Honda are brilliant at this kind of thing. The clutch then feeds through into this 6-speed gearbox, which is one of the best gearboxes you will ever use. Even by modern standards, it's better than virtually anything I've driven, and that includes some Hondas. I've drove very recently a Mark 10 Honda Civic, a lovely car, lovely gearbox in class, but this knocks spots off it. It's short in throw, it's got that lovely feel as the gears engage, that you feel it, even though it's cable operated, you've got genuine sort of tactile enjoyment in actually using it, and it adds to the enjoyment of driving the car, because it is about enjoying driving this car. All of those functions, all of those controls I just mentioned, zero wear of course, because it has done no work, but it's a tiny reminder of just what brilliant engineers Honda are. And then we move on to what I think is the best part of this car by a country mile, and that's the chassis. And one that was completely overlooked by most of the motoring press, because it is genius in the same way as NSX is to me. Because first and foremost, here I am going over one of the worst road surfaces around here. Tyre pressure's up to what the manufacturer says. Yeah, I can feel the bumps, but compared to virtually any modern car in this class, it rides that so much better. The damping is brilliant on this car, but then you factor in as well that you've got steering, which is good old school fluid power steering, so you've got genuine feel for the steering wheel. You've got a steering wheel which doesn't conform to everyone wants a big, thick, fat, chunky steering wheel. I don't. Ayrton Senna, who was my hero, he didn't, because he wanted to feel the road, so he always wanted in his cars a relatively thin rim on the steering wheel, so you could actually get feel through the steering, and you guide the car through corners, and that's where these cars excel. The body control, the handling of this car is simply extraordinary, given how comfortable it is as well. It's one of the nicest cars if not the nicest car I've driven in the last 10 years. And I've driven some wonderful cars. The whole feel driving this car makes you feel very special, and you do not feel like you're driving a 20-year-old car in any way, because it's smooth, it's quiet, it's robust, it's beautifully built. It feels tight as a drum on the road in every single sense. No kind of, you'd have thought when you get in a 20-year-old car, oh, it's going to feel a little bit, you're going with rose-tinted glasses, and oh, it's not quite as I remembered. Now, this is probably one of those few cars, it is actually better than I remember. And I have driven a few over the last few years, but obviously not to this extreme in terms of mileage and certainly the engine and gearbox combination. There are, by the way, no clonks, rattles, anything from the suspension. The steering itself exhibits absolutely no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. It tracks absolutely bullet straight. Brakes on the car are exceptionally good, they're powerful, there's no pulsing or vibrations going back through the brake pedal, so all in very, very good order there as well. And then to finish it all off, you've got this beautiful interior, lovely, warm, rich tan leather interior. And again, I'm driving a 20-year-old car, but when I was sitting here, I'm not just thinking I'm in an old car. It hasn't got that feel, actually. I still feel it's something relatively modern. What it hasn't got, joy of joys, is some horrible, great big tablet up there blocking your view of the road. So when you do knock over the pedestrians because you're not concentrating on the road because you're reading your messages, you don't get to see them go over the bonnet because you can't see them. When I go to adjust my climate control system or my fan speed, I don't have to go into 85 different menus to try and find it. I literally just press a button here on the dashboard. I do my temperatures here. Dual zone climate control working perfectly, ice cold air. But it's just so lovely to sit in a car and just concentrate on driving with a very highly equipped car for its age, but one that you just jump in and drive, and it's intuitive straight away. Dash pinnacle in front, just simplest dials with lovely graphics, lovely backlighting, and all these tiny little things add up to one of the greatest packages that Honda ever made, and in class, over the years as time sort of worn into sort of the myth and legend of some cars. When this was launched, they'd compete against like the BMW 3 Series, Audi A4, the Ford Mondeo at the time, and various other cars. Well, yeah, of course it could beat the Mondeo in terms of sort of build and reliability, but the Motor and Press always fawned over kind of BMW, anything German basically. You're just full at their knees. But then 10, 15, 20 years later, they suddenly realise those troublesome Germans, by comparison, and they're lovely cars, so I'm not knocking them, they're wonderful to drive. Some will be quieter than this, some will be more economical than this, some will be faster than this, some will have more equipment, be more plush, more whatever. But when you add up every single bit of the car in terms of how you'd mark it, this is way more reliable than any of them, it's better built than any of them, but it just drives brilliantly in a way that you probably won't expect. This is a stunning car, and I warned you at the start of the video that I'd be salivating about it, and I am. If goodness only knows, I wish I've got a collection of 8 classic Hondas myself, and I haven't really got space for those. I've got 2 which aren't with me. I have to sort of have them elsewhere. I wish I had space for this. I really, really do, because this is as special as jumping into one of my Prelude or my CRX. It still has that lovely Honda-ness about it, which Honda need to sort of get back and remember. They do some brilliant cars, but I do feel that over the years they're chasing volume, and which they've always done. To pretend they didn't it's a lie. But I do feel cars like this in some ways sorely lacking. This is special. This is a really special car, and as I said in the advert, it's not cheap. It's not going to be cheap, and I make no apologies for that whatsoever.